Hey guys, today in my kitchen I am making baked mochi donuts that are matcha flavored. I absolutely love matcha, so I thought I'd try these out, and I really hope you join me for an adventure. So stay tuned, welcome to my kitchen, and let's see what I am baking. You will need sugar, matcha, white chocolate, all-purpose flour, vegetable oil, some milk, or as I like to say, meek, 1 large egg, and tapioca or glutinous rice flour. So let's get started, shall we? Start by measuring out half a cup of milk and adding it to a pot. You can do a medium pot here. Then measure out 2.5 tablespoons of sugar and add that to your milk mixture. And also add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now mix it all together, and you're gonna want to heat it until you can see steam coming from it. While that goes, I am gonna measure out about 3/4 of a cup of my glutinous rice flour or tapioca flour, whichever one you happen to be using. Now once that is steaming, we are going to add 2.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and we're going to bring this together until it forms a paste. I'll show you what that looks like in a second here. Correction, we are going to mix it until it is smooth, and then after that I'll show you what to do next. Mine's getting there, and now that mine is nice and smooth, I'm going to add in my tapioca flour or glutinous rice flour, and I'm going to bring this together until it forms like a nice ball, like a fondant. To get this to form into a ball, you kind of need to like scrape the sides and then press on it, turning every now and then, and that should help it form into the ball you're looking for. If your mix is too dry, I ended up adding a little bit more milk to this, so that is always an option if it is too crumbly. And mine has formed into a nice ball, so I am just going to take it off the heat now. This is what you are looking for in terms of it forming together. And now to a bowl, I am going to crack in my egg, and I'm going to give that a good whisk until it is nice and mixed together. And now that I've whisked my egg together nicely, I am going to add a little bit of the egg to my flour, sugar, oil mixture, and milk, of course. And I am just going to incorporate this completely until you see no more egg, and then I'm going to add in a bit more egg and just keep doing that in batches until I have it all mixed together. While I mix that together, if you don't mind liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing, and also hyping, and I also now have a new feature to buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com at theaffordablebanana, and thank you to those who do. I really appreciate it. And let's continue on with our mochi donut. Now that we have our mixture together, I am just going to quickly set my oven to preheat to 340 Fahrenheit, and then I'll show you how to form the donuts now. So this is what it should look like when it's done. I'll get a nice zoom in on that for you so you can see roughly what it should look like when it's fully incorporated. Now that we have our batter, I am simply going to fill either a piping bag, or in my case I don't have a piping bag, so I am just going to do a Ziploc bag, and I am simply just going to fill it with all this deliciousness. And now to a baking sheet, I am gonna add some parchment paper so that these don't stick, and then I'll show you how to form them in a second here. So if you are using a Ziploc bag, you are gonna seal it most of the way, and then you are just gonna get all your dough mixture into one corner, and then you are gonna seal it all the way. And then once you have it into roughly this shape, you are gonna trim off the end, and you are gonna start piping these. So simply in the end, you want 9 mochi donuts, and you're gonna do 6 holes or 6 circles per donut as best as you can. You can also do up a stencil for this, and just make sure these are slightly touching each other. I'm apparently going to do a 5-point because that's the skills I have, and just keep going. If it is too thin, it might be a bit runny at this point, so you'll have to remix your dough with some flour, or if it's too hard, it won't form properly. Also, as you're forming these, keep in mind that you want these to be tall, so do not press down on them, just so that they have that nice lift. That's very important here. This is my second attempt making these, and I think it's going a lot better now that I know what I'm kind of looking for. So needless to say, my piping skills need a bit of improvement. I apologize to anyone who doesn't know how to pipe, quite frankly, like I can't, because it's difficult and a lot of recipes call for it, but you're doing your best and that's what counts. So now we are just gonna bake these for about 12 minutes until they have puffed up and are lightly golden. Very important. You want to watch these bake so that you don't overcook them. I'm going about 12 minutes to be safe with my light on so I can see what's going on. You will be amazing. I believe in you. Yay! Yay, good job. Go for it. Little pep talk won't hurt. When I say keep an eye on them, literally keep an eye on them. I'm not kidding. You do not want to leave this recipe behind. Hey, buddy. What you up to? Are you helping me bake? Good boy, oh. Don't eat anything off the ground, okay? Okay. And now, or soon to be, the moment of truth. Let me just take a peek to ensure they're browned. Not quite. I'm gonna let those go another 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, those look amazing. I will give you a better angle in a second here. And I say not bad for a second attempt. My other ones were just outright flat. So this is better. Let's see if they are nice and golden on the bottom, which they are. So these are done. And yes, I'm touching all the food. While these cool, we are going to making our matcha icing. Simply to do that, we're going to add 1/6 of a chocolate bar on top of a whole chocolate bar. And then we are just going to simply melt this in the microwave just in 20-second increments until it's a bit melty, and then we're going to add our cream and our matcha. So I'm doing about a chocolate bar and a 1/4 here, and it is in fact white chocolate. Now that this is starting to kind of melt, I am just going to add a little bit of half and half cream, and I'm going to mix that together, see if it melts fully. Almost there. back into the microwave. And by a little bit of cream, I maybe added about a teaspoon. Now that this is fully melted, it looks like, I am just gonna give that a nice little stir up, and then we'll add our matcha. And it's as simple as that to make the glaze, or icing if you want to call it an icing. So I'm gonna do a hefty portion of my matcha, about 1 full scoop and maybe a half. If your glaze or icing, whatever you want to call it, winds up being a bit too thick, you want it to be thick, but enough that you can easily dip your mochi donuts into these. So you can always add more cream if it winds up being too thick, and that's just a simple way to solve that. If it's too wet, however, you might need to add either more melted chocolate that you melt in a separate bowl to it, or you might need to restart altogether. But in the end, this is what it should look like. Let me get some ribbon action for you. So it is your choice now whether you want to dip these or if you want to just sprinkle on the icing in a nice pattern. I am going to dip mine, then take a couple forks, let the excess drain off. And this is where it might get a bit tricky in my opinion, but I am going to bring it over to my pan with my lined sheet and just flip it and hope that that works. Looks like it did, so I'm going to continue doing that. And with the extra melted chocolate, you can simply just eat it. I'm sure it'll be amazing. And this is what they look like when they are done. And now I'm just going to give these a try and tell you what I think about them. I'm sure they'll be good. There's like a bunch of chocolate on these, so let's see. The texture is like a pancake, but then you go to bite into it and it has a nice chew from your tapioca flour or rice flour if you use that. It is so good. The flavor of the matcha chocolate is amazing, and I would definitely make these over and over again. My only regret in life is that I didn't discover these sooner. They're so good.